What's up, y'all? I appreciate y'all for watching this video. Let me take these glasses off because like the glare is like glaring through my glasses. But I appreciate y'all for watching this video. Today we're gonna talk about how the Los Angeles Clippers can win the NBA Finals this year. It's a couple things that they have to do. I think it's 3 things that they have to do. If they do these things, they can win the NBA Finals. But before I jump into that, please make sure y'all like this video, subscribe to the channel, share the video. I'm just getting back into making videos again. I know I took a break. I looked and one of my videos actually, like the views is going up, it's turning up. So I'm like, let me get back into it. And people been asking me about my YouTube channel. So I said I'm gonna get back into it. So this is the first video that I'm gonna be doing, talking about the Clippers, because I feel like they're in a interesting situation. All right, now the first thing that they have to do is already done. It already happened for the Clippers. The first thing they had to do was stay low key. Last year, I felt like the Clippers was way too much noise around them. If you look at Kawhi Leonard, when he was with the Raptors, you didn't expect the Raptors to win. They didn't have any expectations. When you looked at Paul George, when Paul George was with the Pacers, he didn't have any expectations going in. That's why he played so good against LeBron, you know, when LeBron was with Miami and Paul George was with the Pacers. So I thought that that's the type of team that they have. Last year, they had a whole lot of stuff around them, because you had to think Kawhi had just came and he just won the finals, and he went from Toronto to the Clippers, and everybody was talking about that. And then Paul George went there, and then, you know, Kawhi had the little commercial where he had the like the thing on his keys, and it had like the throne. It was basically the whole season was this LeBron versus Kawhi thing. And I thought that in particular, that's not gonna help the Clippers. That's not the type of team that the Clippers have. You know, that can work for that Warriors team with Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, because that's an offensive team. But with this team, they play much better when they're low key. And the one thing that kept them low key, well, made them low key, was James Harden going to the Nets. Now everybody's talking about the Nets. Nobody's talking about the Clippers. As a matter of fact, I think the Clippers got the #1 seed in the West right now. The Clippers got the #1 seed. And I think that is what they want to do. You want to be a #1 seed in the West that people, they're not really taking you serious. They don't really think you can win. You know, one of those type of #1 seeds, where kind of like how the Toronto Raptors used to be in the East, like 3-4 years ago. Toronto in the East, people would see them as a #1 seed, but you would be like, we don't think they're going to beat, you know, the Cavs with LeBron. We didn't really think that. It was a #1 seed that you didn't really take serious. That is the perfect position for the Clippers to be in with the type of team that they have. So that was the first thing that they had to do. They had to stay low key, and it's happening. The Brooklyn Nets, everybody's talking about the Nets. Everybody's talking about the Lakers. You know, people talking about the Blazers, the Nuggets from last year. Nobody's really talking about the Clippers, and that is a great thing if you're a Clippers fan. All right, the second thing that has to happen is Paul George has to give you what his role is. Like, for example, a lot of people is starting to say that Paul George doesn't play good in the playoffs. I mean, I agree, but I disagree. It's only so much Paul George can do. But my point is, what I think has to happen is, okay, if he's not a playoff player, then he has to be good in a regular season. He has to have that type of regular season that he had with OKC, where people were saying that it's a chance that he could be an MVP. You know, when he was playing with Westbrook, he was playing so good. He was playing lights out in the regular season. So he has to play that way this year in the regular season, you know, to get them that #1 seed. Because I think if Paul George plays great in the regular season, they can get that #1 seed, because Kawhi's going to step up. Kawhi's going to do his thing. But Paul George is more so of the X factor. I would love to see him play good in the playoffs and be playoff P, because that's what he called himself, playoff P. But at the end of the day, you know, we don't know what we're gonna get out of Paul George. He do got defense, you know, he a first team all defense type of dude, but offensively, he can go away for a minute, you know, when it's in the playoffs, in the crunch time. But if the Clippers want to get to where they're going, Paul George has to be good in the regular season. He has to dominate the regular season. I think as of right now, everybody's only played around 10 to 15 games. And I know Paul George is a top 15 points per game. He's in the top 15 points per game. And Kawhi is in the top 15 points per game. I think both of them right now average more than LeBron. Both of them right now. So they're doing that so far. So that's 2 out of the 3 that they're doing so far. And the last thing that the Clippers has to do is they got to make a trade at the deadline. Now, I believe that they have to make the right trade. It can't just be a trade, you know, we're going to go get J.R. Smith, you know, pick him up. No, you have to make a good trade or pickup at the deadline that's going to help your team. And I was looking on Google, and hold on, let me check it out. So I typed in Clippers trade rumors, and one actually come up. It's on clipperholics.com, and it's showing how the Clippers, I guess, was interested in getting Lonzo Ball. And the trade was going to be the Clippers get Lonzo, the Pelicans get Lou Williams. I'm not going to try to pronounce this dude's name. His last name is Cabin Jill. I don't know. Terrence Mann and some second-round picks. If you ask me, with Lonzo, that would actually be really, really good, because Lonzo, he can set it up to where Kawhi don't have to work as hard as he's doing. He would still have to do his thing, but he wouldn't have to work as hard. And plus, Lonzo is another defensive player. That's another defensive stopper. So you will have Lonzo, you have Patrick Beverley coming off the bench, you got Paul George, Kawhi. It's a lot of defense. And Lonzo, he opens up that scoring ability. Paul George don't gotta, you know, break somebody down at the top of the key. Kawhi don't gotta break somebody down at the top of the key. You know, Lonzo can go pick and roll, kick it out to Paul George. Now Paul George can, you know, work on the wing with somebody coming at him. It's a little bit easier when a defender is coming at you and you got the ball and you can blow by him, pull up, you know. So I thought that could help him. Lonzo could help him. Let's check out some more trades that they're talking about for the Clippers. So there's another trade here. It's on NBAanalysis.net. And this actually isn't the first time I've seen this. They're saying that Jeff Teague could go to the Clippers to reunite with Paul George, because I think he played with Paul George. That was in Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. It's definitely, and they played together in Indiana. And Jeff Teague is good. He's actually one of my favorite low-key players. Like, not too many people really know about him. I used to watch him at Wake Forest, and his little brother played with Kentucky, I believe. His little brother was good, Marquise Teague. But I've been watching Jeff Teague for a minute. I think Jeff Teague is really, really good. Do I think he'll put them over the hump? No. But he could help, but it has to be a numerous amount of trades. They got to make the right deals to get this done. Now, basically, y'all, if they do all three of those things, in my opinion, it's a chance they could win the whole thing. They could win the whole NBA Finals. Nobody's really talking about them right now. I think if I had to put a list of the teams that I think in order that has the best chance of winning the finals, I think they would probably be third, to be quite honest. I know Brooklyn would be second. The Lakers would be 1. Brooklyn would be second. I don't see another team. I'm sorry. I don't see Philly having a better chance than the Clippers. I don't see Boston having a better chance of winning the finals than the Clippers. I don't see the Nuggets, who beat the Clippers last year, but in my opinion, it's because they was in the bubble. I don't think the Clippers really came to play. I don't think they have a better chance of winning in the finals than the Clippers. I think the Clippers, they're right there. You're third. You're right there. All you really have to do is stay low key. Just be a low key team, which you are right now. Stay low key, and y'all can get this done. So that's my prediction. Do I think the Clippers are going to win? No, I do not, because I don't think they'll beat the Lakers, unfortunately. I'm not a Lakers fan, y'all, but I don't think they will beat the Lakers. But I do think there's a chance that they could go to the Western Conference Finals. I think in the Western Conference Finals, they'll probably lose to the Lakers, and you'll have a Lakers and Nets Finals. But anything can happen. But I'm rooting for the Clippers. I like Kawhi. I like Paul George. I like that team, and I'm rooting for them. Hopefully they do get it done. So they follow these 3 things. Listen to your boy. They'll get it done. Appreciate y'all for watching.